You're okay. This is a short Medium article that I wrote not too long ago, and I thought I'd share it here in video form. I was asked an interesting question last week. If I could tell everyone in the world one thing, what would you want them to know? This thought immediately came to my mind. You're okay. Really, I want you to know that you're all right, just as you are. I wish you could hear the intonation in my voice when you're reading this in the written form. It comes across like my father-in-law says it. A little tongue-in-cheek, but with a whole lot of kindness. I don't care what the rest of them say. You're all right. I feel this is an important message, not just because of all the crazy that happens in the world to cause us to doubt our individual and collective sense of security, but also because it gives you the freedom and encouragement to be you. And what could be better than being you? I mean, you've committed a lot of resources to spending a lifetime here as this version of you. The spiritual identity crisis. Okay, there might be some times when you've tried to be someone else. Maybe it was someone you thought had a more ideal personality worth emulating. Maybe it was a role you chose to play in order to be accepted by your chosen tribe. But sometimes those deliberate choices to try on a different identity other than the real you can get a bit out of hand and even take over to the point of obscuring your authentic self. For example, have you ever been around someone who is all peace, love, smiles, and a bit of holier than thou attitude? I'm not saying something is off if you're happy and you show it. I'm referring to the people who espouse rationales for why their intuition is the best over others who aren't as enlightened, or who claim to be on a uniquely special path, also usually in comparison to others. I often refer to these people as caught in a strong spiritual identity. It's as if their professed spiritual nature will protect them from any threat of disapproval because they are on a moral high ground. I don't think any of us are intentionally hiding who we really are behind a veil of spiritual superiority or any other runaway identity. It just feels safer to put forth that persona of having it all figured out because that's how we're all supposed to be, right? If you grew up with traditional family values, received standard education, or worked in corporate America, you've been conditioned to get approval for the kind of high-achieving identity you operate under. When you're so used to playing by the be a good person rules, it takes a lot of courage to let yourself express freely, authentically, exactly what you're thinking and feeling without monitoring what comes out to make sure it's acceptable. Remember, you're okay. If you remember that, no matter what, you're okay, then you can safely explore who you really are, what you really think, and how you really feel in any moment. You can even express authentically who you really are without fear of disapproval. Telling yourself and letting in the message, you're okay, could be the bedrock of mental and emotional stability that lets you experience the ups and downs of life with less fear and more adaptability in your responses. When you know you're okay at your core, there's nothing you need to protect, and you can focus your energy on what you choose to create. Giving and receiving the message, you're okay, could be the foundation of a new society where we value our differences and learn from them. Instead of critically judging someone who is different than you, what if you just said, you're okay, and then shifted your focus to what you want to create together or apart? Even if it's a silent, you're okay, in your mind, I suspect that thought would open up the possibility for deeper connection and compassion for our fellow humans. Perhaps we will even find new ways of harmonizing across our many different ways of being, rather than just trying to homogenize into one big monotonous blob. But even if you like being part of a homogenized, monotonous blob, that's okay too, because you're okay.